The frog stand will set a solid foundation of our progressional pushing exercises. It's the first steps to achieving a good solid handstand. Right then, firstly, we need to make sure that when we place our hands onto the floor, that our hands or our fingers kind of act like our toes. We really need to grip the floor and make sure you're pushing the floor away from you as you do this exercise. So as we come down, we want to place the knees on top of the triceps. This one takes a little bit of confidence. You need the confidence to go forward and lift those hips up toward the sky. It's a tough exercise. It's one to really work on and try and build your time up as you progress, but give the frog stand a go. The frog stand is a challenging movement to obtain, and you may need a little bit of help on the way. So what I've done here is I've got hold of some yoga blocks. This could easily be some books that you could stack up. You just need to stack up something so you can rest your head onto it. This will give you the confidence to bring those hips and feet off the ground. So the setup is the same. Remember to push the floor away from you, grip your fingers into the floor, knees on top of the triceps, and then this time I'm just going to rest my head onto the blocks, and this gives me the confidence to lift those hips and feet off the ground. Again, I can spend some time gaining my confidence up there, and then over time maybe I can start to take a couple of blocks away. I can bring down the block, and again I can bring down the block, and then hopefully with persistence you can get your frog stand down with no blocks at all. Now for the push-up. The push-up should form a staple part of your calisthenics exercise routine. The push-up is a great exercise developing the pecs, the triceps and the shoulders. So then, for the movement, we're going to have the wrists underneath the shoulders, roughly shoulder width apart. We're going to drop the shoulders back into the joint and point the elbows back. I'm going to tuck my chin, pull my belly button up and in, and squeeze my butt cheeks. From here, I'm going to come all the way down, keeping my elbows tight to the side of my body, and back up. The press up can be a difficult exercise to obtain firstly when you're first starting out, and we can drop the knees as a slight regression. I'm just going to demonstrate this now. So it's the same setup. We come down under tension, drop the knees, and come back up. And there we have the push-up. This exercise here is known as the Pike Push-up. This is a great exercise to develop strength into the shoulders and the upper arms. And again, it's a very good one for getting you used to being upside down on those first steps to obtaining that handstand progressions which we want to obtain. So then, for the setup, we're going to push our hips up toward the sky and drive our hands down into the floor. The head is down and you're looking back at your trainers. Point the elbows back and bring the head down in front of the hands toward the ground. Be sure to keep the hips up there, keep pushing the floor away from you, and keep those elbows in. Here we have the Pike push-up. Again, the Pike push-ups could be a tough movement to start with or obtain. So as a slight regression, we're going to use our blocks again. So for this one, we're going to go to the same setup position. But this time, because of the blocks, we do not need to go as far down. This makes the exercise a little bit more obtainable. Again, through practice, you can start to reduce the blocks as you start to increase your strength. Again, if you keep up with this one, eventually you'll be able to obtain the full Pike push-up. Final movement of our push-in guide to calisthenics is the dips. Jack's going to perform this one for us. So Jack, could you jump up onto the dipping station here? Jack's going to have his legs straight. He's going to keep a nice neutral spine. He's going to come down by pointing his elbows back, keeping his elbows tight to the side of the body. He's ensuring that his head of his humerus, his shoulder, does not fall forward. He's going to push back up to the top position where he engages his triceps, and then he's going to come back down again. Nice breath out at the top. And just one more repetition, one more for luck. And there we have it, guys. That's the tricep dip. Jack's just given us a great demonstration of a tricep dip on a dipping station. Tough movement to obtain. So here's a dip regression. Here I'm going to use a parked bench. So for the setup then, you're going to have your hands just wider than your hips. You're going to bring your hips a few inches away from the bench. Legs at this right angle position. Point the elbows back. From here, keep the spine tall and come down until your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Push back up and engage the triceps and repeat. Keep that chin up, look forward. And remember, don't let the shoulder, the head of the shoulder move forward. Keep that shoulder pulled back in position. A slight variation here and a bit of a progression is just to straighten the legs out. Make sure that your hips do not come away from the bench as you do this progression. And there we have the tricep dip. For these next movements, we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to look to obtain a little bit of confidence on getting into this inverted position, getting upside down, ready for those future progressions into those handstands. So for the setup here, we're going to start in a plank position. And from here, we're going to walk the hands back, pushing the hips up to the sky and feeling that stretch through that posterior chain. We can repeat that exercise anywhere between 5 to 10 repetitions. And as you find it's getting easier, we can make it a little bit harder by raising our feet up onto a box. It's the same setup position in your plank. Have a bit of fun with those ones, guys. Try that progression when you're ready and give those ones a go. For this final movement here, we're going to have a little bit of fun. This exercise really is a progression, and this is walk the wall. I'm just going to go straight into the demonstration first. It's a tough exercise, guys. You can see why we program the frog stands, the push-ups, the pike push-ups before we go anywhere near this exercise. This one's just a little bit of fun and play, and you can give this one a go and check your progressions with it.